Mr. Mott, if you would introduce yourself and give us your DOC number, please.
Hello, my name is Sidney Mott DOC. My DOC is 623941.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mott, this is a revocation hearing. I'd like to explain our procedure to you. I'm going to cover your parole revocation questionnaire with you. Do you have that with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. Then I'm going to read the allegations of how it's alleged you violated your parole. And then you'll plead either guilty or not guilty, or guilty with a statement or not guilty with the statement. Then we'll have a full discussion of the allegations against you. You also have two persons who are here today wish to speak in your behalf. Ms. Hannah Basilone, who is your attorney, and Brian Loss, who is a social worker with the Orleans Parish Public Defender's Office. Do you understand our procedure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have your, Ms. Basilone on the line?
Yes, good morning, board.
Good morning. I'm going to go ahead and cover with him his probation revocation questionnaire. Have y'all had an opportunity to discuss that with him?
We have.
Okay. Mr. Mott, if you'll take a look at that questionnaire, is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Dated April the 19th of 2023.
Yes, sir.
Are all of those questions still accurate as they were when you signed them on that day?
Yes, sir.
And you are currently represented by Ms. Basilone?
Yes, sir.
And you're prepared to go forward today with the hearing?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Basilone, I'm going to read the allegations against him, and you can advise him how to plead, or he can enter his own plea, whichever you wish to do.
Thank you.
Mr. Mott, can't find my glasses. Mr. Mott, you committed new criminal conduct of domestic abuse, battery, and obscene phone calls on or about January the 24th of 2023 in New Orleans. On March the 24th of 2023, you pled guilty to the reduced charge of criminal trespass. How do you plead to those allegations?
Not guilty.
All right. Mr. Mott, your case has been assigned to me, so I will begin our questioning. Tell me what happened when you got out of jail. Tell me about the involvement that you had. I mean, I've read all the reports. As you know, I'm sure you know, we have a video describing everything with Mr. LaWanda Preston. I have the police report from the bomb threat at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. I had the police report about where they saw you, chased you down, and arrested you. So tell me your side of the story. And today's the day for you to be honest.
Yes, sir. The night I was getting out of jail, I called LaWanda to make sure she was coming get me. And she told me, she said, Sidney, I don't get off work until late. And then she was like, I want you to know that you only have 30 to 60 days to get yourself together, and then you can't stay with me. And I was like, well, why didn't you tell me this when I asked you for the address so I could have a address for when I parole out? And she was like, well, I'm telling you now. So I just told her, don't worry about me. And I called my ex-girlfriend, and my ex-girlfriend came and picked me up from Livingston work release. And the day after that, she inboxed me on Snapchat, and she was like, come get all your things. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming, I'm on the way. And when I came to the house, she opened the door, she maced me and told me, no, you're not getting anything because you're back with your ex-girlfriend. And I left, and then next thing I know, I wound up coming to jail.
Well, what about the hotel incident?
I didn't pose no bomb.
You weren't across the street in the parking lot?
Yes, sir, because me and her was supposed to meet up at Walk-Ons for lunch.
You didn't run away from the police and have to be chased down?
Yes, sir, because I was scared. I didn't know what was going on.
You didn't call the hotel?
Sir?
You didn't call her at the hotel?
Yes, sir. I was letting her know that I was waiting on her so we can go to walk-ons that was around the corner so we can talk, because the past week we was talking and meeting up at the parks.
Were you drinking on any of these occasions?
No, sir.
Why did you run from the police?
I was scared, so I didn't know. All I know, they just came from every direction. I didn't know what was going on. I really didn't know what was going on.
Did you see the video that was recorded of Miss LaWanda Preston?
No, sir.
You haven't seen that video? I'm sure your lawyers have.
I have
The
no.
story she tells, it's not what she says.
Well, sir, it's not. It was never like that. Because the past days after, before the hotel situation, me and her met up at a restaurant. We talked about things. We went to the park with the kids. So we was in the midst of working on things.
We'll hear from your lawyer. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I have one question.
Okay.
Did you send her text messages threatening to kill her?
I didn't mean it, sir. I was angry because when she makes me in my face, I couldn't see her. I was angry at that time, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Rocha?
Mr. Mott, the night you went to get your clothes, it was raining,
Yes, sir.
and former girlfriend handed you your clothes at the door and asked you not to come in.
She did not hand me the clothes, sir. She never handed me the clothes. When she opened the front door, she had the bag, but in her other hand, she had a can of mace, and she maced me in the face and said, "You're not getting anything."
Then why would she tell you to come get your clothes? And why would she make you? She was trying to hand you your clothes out so you could get them on the porch. Then you shoved your way in, knocked her down, and she fell on one of the children. Then she maced you.
No, sir. That's not what happened. That is not what happened.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Vassalone, who would you like to speak first? Mr. Lars?
That would be fine. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Brian Lars?
Greetings, board. My name is Brian Lars. I'm a social worker with the Orleans Public Defender's Office. I've been doing this work for a long time, and I worked on several cases like this. Sidney has the opportunity. Sidney is really a good person. I've had the opportunity to complete an assessment on Sidney, and I worked out a detailed reentry plan for Sidney. I think Sidney has the opportunity to get the kind of support that he's never had before. All of the work that I do with Sidney will be complemented by other social workers and client advocates. In my plan, I detailed first and foremost, Sidney does have safe, supportive housing. He has a place to stay. Also made a referral to CADA Prevention and Recovery, where Sidney can engage in anger management classes and maybe domestic violence classes. He'll be linked to a 12-step fellowship as well to maybe address some underlying substance use issues, maybe with the alcohol, because in my assessment, is a possibility maybe, he has some issues with drinking. And also, Sidney has employment. Sidney has been an outstanding employee at Roof Restores. His employers have wrote a letter of support, confirming that he's an excellent worker. He's been outstanding. He can return back to work. I think that Sidney can benefit from my mentorship and also learning some other coping skills. I think that he acknowledged to me that he could have maybe handled the situation a little bit better, you know, maybe removing himself and just, you know, employing better coping skills. And I think that he can learn those skills, going to classes at CADA and working directly with myself. I believe in Sidney. Sidney is not a bad person. He's a hard worker. He has children that, he's eager to get back to and to help support. I think that this is something that he deserves a chance to correct and get his life back in order. And I'm going to be there for him. Our office will coordinate with his support system, in the event that any crisis might occur. He'll have support from our agency on a daily basis to navigate through difficult situations. Again, Sidney is a good person. I've had the chance to meet with Sidney on several occasions, and I know that he's a person that's worth another chance to get his life together. And I'm going to be here for him. Like I said, I've been doing this work for a very long time. And, I think that we detailed a solid plan, and I think our office can help him. So I would appreciate it. It is the opinion of the Orleans Public Defender's Office that, Sidney have another chance to resume his life with the support that we put in place. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Social worker.
Sure.
Social worker.
Larson.
Ms. Lawson, Albert DOC.
Yes, sir.
Can that CADA program be executed while he's incarcerated?
While he's incarcerated, no, it won't be, but I have made a referral, and the coordinator there she supplied a letter, and Sidney can start as soon as he's released from prison. We work very closely with CADA, and they're outstanding. Their office is located right above ours, and I'll be facilitating that transition as soon as Sidney gets out. I'll make sure that he comes into the office and he make that initial appointment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roche. Mr. Mott, is there anything you'd like to say before we turn it over to Ms. Basilone?
I just want y'all to know that I'm willing to do anything to straighten out this situation. Stay from around her and her family, even though we have close family members. I wouldn't go around nobody. I would just go to work and participate in this program that the public defenders is trying to give me to straighten up my life out. I want to do better. I have the opportunity. I'm a warehouse manager at Roots Restored. I took the opportunity while I was incarcerated to better myself for when I got out. And I really didn't mean for this to happen. And I'm really sorry that it did. I'll do anything, sir. I just want a second chance.
Thank you, Mr. Mott. Okay, Ms. Basilone?
Thank you so much, board members. My name is Hannah Basilone. I have been representing Mr. Mott throughout the entirety of these proceedings since he was arrested back in January. I would just like to note for the board before I kind of go through some of the materials that I had submitted that Sidney's version of events has been consistent since the beginning of what happened, including since when he spoke with police on the night of December 20th. And Sidney did take responsibility for his actions when he pled guilty to the trespass in March. He would not have had the opportunity to plead guilty to that charge if it is not what had happened. The state would have gone forward with the charges if they had had the opportunity to do so. If there had been, more to what happened. All of that said, Sidney does recognize, that he could have handled things differently from the beginning. He really would like to express that to you all. And I also believe, the letters that have been submitted by his girlfriend by his girlfriend's children, who he is a father figure to, and by his two bosses, really demonstrate, you know, his character and the fact that what happened on the night of December 20th was in fact a misstep that he has learned from, and that he is hoping to overcome given the opportunity. The programs and resources that Mr. Lars has put together are quite good, are things that we refer people to often, and both myself and Mr. Lars believe that those would be really beneficial to Sidney and to moving forward from this event and to being able to re-enter society, act, you know, be productive, not reoffend in any ways that have previously happened. Specifically, the letters from his bosses, I do think, speak to his character. He is a manager at work. He oversees people. He is looked up to by people that he manages, and he's also admired by his bosses who are in charge of him. And I do think that speaks volumes to who he is outside of these events. Finally, I would just like to point out, I did include some civil protective orders related to Miss Preston. I just wanted to make clear for the board that I provided those, not because Sidney is we're not looking to blame anybody, Miss Preston, for these events. I'm just included them to point out that this event stemmed from a relationship dispute, from two people wanting two different things, and to show that neither party is blameless in this situation, despite the fact that Sidney takes full responsibility for what happened. I believe that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your comments. Is the board ready to vote?
Executive session.
Okay. There's been a motion for executive session. Is there a second?
Second.
I agree as well. We're going to be in executive session for a few moments to discuss some matters of confidential nature. We'll resume this hearing in just a few seconds. The parole board is a call back to order. Mr. Mott, you know, I've looked at this case. I've watched the video. I've listened to you talk. I've listened to your lawyer and the social worker. And I think we all agree, you need help. You need some treatment. I agree with Mr. Larson. No one here suggests that you're a bad person, but you've got an issue. You've got a problem. And it's very clear to me. I mean, you did concede. We have the emails where you said you were going to kill her. Now, yeah, sure. Maybe there was some underlying things going on, but you know, you're the one on parole, not her. You're the one who's got the cloud over your head. You've got a history of drinking. And quite honestly, I'm concerned about safety issues. She said in her video, you were drunk that night when you came. We don't know that. You said you weren't. But the next time you get involved in this with the phone calls, you run from the police.
Yes,
And I don't know if it's anger, I don't know if it's alcohol or what it is, but there are issues that need to be resolved that cause you to commit these crimes. Sure, the DA reduced the charges, and it may very well be that they didn't think they could prove the case, but it may very well be that they just wanted to move this matter on, let the parole board decide it. All kind of reasons for that. I don't know what that reason was. What we're dealing with is the facts of the case. You did plead guilty to a charge. I believe that you need some help. My vote today is going to be in lieu of revocation, that you go to the Steve Hoyle program and complete that program for both substance abuse and domestic violence, anger issues. And once you complete that program, then you'll be put back on parole. But that is up to you to finish that program, to get in that program and complete that program appropriately. I'm only one vote, but that's my vote. Roche?
Mr. Mott, I agree with Mr. Maradona that you need some help. And our duty to see that you get that help before you release back into the general population. My vote is to sentence Mr. Marabella that in lieu of revocation, you must complete a long-term Steve Hall intensive substance abuse program and the Steve Hall domestic violence prevention program. After completing those two programs at exposure medium, you will be released. I'm going to add a condition on your parole. This is not a contact, no contact order. This is a condition of your parole. You are to have no contact with LaWanda Preston. If you contact Ms. Preston for any reason, and we can prove that, you will be revoked again. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Roche. Mr. Freeman?
I concur with my colleague.
Mr. Mott, you have an opportunity to get some help. I hope you take advantage of that. And once you get out, I wish you the best. I hope you can get your job back and work hard. But you've got some issues that you need to work on. So good luck to you, sir.